Brought to you by Felicity and Fritz at 127 Princess Street for all of the season's fashion must-haves.
Queen's Frosh Week is famous for its energy, enthusiasm, and tradition. It's a time when incoming students meet new friends, partake in exciting new experiences, and become familiar with their new home at Queen's. Alcohol consumption, in particular during Frosh Week, has been a controversial topic amongst students, staff, and administration at Queen's for quite some time. Ultimately, it has led to a residence-wide alcohol ban that was introduced this year. Why was the ban initiated? Was it effective? What did the staff and students think? The Private Eye investigates. The administration's decision to ban alcohol consumption in residence, regardless of whether students were of the legal drinking age, was announced this summer. While some students thought that this new rule was unnecessary and strict, in reality, regulations did not actually change very much from previous years. Over 90% of first-year students coming to Queen's are not of the legal drinking age. Therefore, they would not have been allowed to consume alcohol in residence, regardless of the alcohol ban. We talked to Tierney, the Associate Vice Principal and Dean of Student Affairs at Queen's, to discover why this ban was introduced and what it entailed.
The ban was put in place to say during that orientation week, that first critical week for students coming onto campus, we were going to extend the dry nature of orientation week in general by saying there would not be alcohol permitted in the residences at all for that week. So what we did was we looked at, again, under our strategy, trying to look at harm reduction, responsible choice, and education. We said, okay, over 90% of our students coming into first year are under the legal age to drink anyway. Orientation week events have been dry for a while, so we want to take away that extra pressure that students might feel during that first week to fit in and engage in behavior that might be a bit risky and help them have a more successful transition. And by saying there's no alcohol, then everyone's in the same footing, whether you're 17, 18, 19, you're a first-year student, and you can fully participate in all the events and activities.
The alcohol ban was introduced from an educational standpoint with the aim to inform students about the risks that can accompany alcohol use. The main goal was not to punish students, but rather to educate them on alcohol consumption and the potential consequences that can arise with irresponsible use.
Obviously, we are concerned about any harm that happens to students, and so again, we're trying to look at those strategies that would reduce that kind of really high-risk behavior.
Campus security also noted that the general environment in residence was not as rowdy as previous years, and they reported fewer alcohol-related incidents on campus.
Early indications are that it did have a positive effect. So just anecdotally, things that students said to the residence life coordinators, feedback we got from parents at move-in, campus security said, you know, there was a reduction of alcohol-related incidents. But in fairness, we haven't done a full review yet. We did undertake to do that, and we certainly will do that.
Naturally, the alcohol ban in residence affected the thousands of students new to Queen's. To gain a first year's perspective, we caught up with some new students, fresh off of Frosh Week.
In residence, the Dons came around a few times and would just check in your room if you were being loud. During Frosh Week events, there was always the student constables and they were searching your bags for alcohol and everything. So they tried to do a good job. I don't know if it worked to the standard that they thought it would, but it was obviously in effect.
While inevitably, some students were tempted to drink at off-campus locations, Alison Jamey, a second-year Don, felt that the central focus was not centered around drinking like it had been during previous years.
I was in a different residence than I am this year, but there were a lot less incidents of people coming home really drunk or leaving really drunk. It was like the focus wasn't around drinking, which is what I found last year, that they were all like really eager to get here and just drink, whereas this year they weren't. It wasn't like the topic of conversation or anything.
Although no concrete data has been produced yet regarding the alcohol ban in residence, our investigation has led us to believe that the ban was beneficial. For students, it eliminated many of the social pressures that can accompany drinking, allowing them to start a safe and comfortable journey at Queen's. Also, the reduced rate of alcohol-related incidents on campus indicates that the ban helped to eliminate dangerous and even life-threatening activities that can stem from irresponsible alcohol use. Alcohol consumption will always remain a controversial topic. However, it's important for students to know that there are many on-campus services available to them, such as the Core, the Walk-Home Service, and their residence dons. Making responsible choices with alcohol is important and crucial for ensuring a safe, fun, and successful year at Queen's. This has been Jo Hatt reporting for The Private Eye.
Brought to you by Felicity and Fritz, showing their love with 10% off for students year-round.